Today, we're going to crack open a book that is, seriously, one of the most practical guides out there for building wealth, the book on rental property investing by Brandon Turner. We're going to break down his masterclass on how you can turn real estate into real, actual financial freedom. I mean, it's a question a lot of us ask ourselves, right? The whole idea of owning assets that pay you every single month, of not being chained to a 9 to 5 forever, it's a pretty powerful dream. But for most people, that dream feels, well, kind of far away. Maybe a little complicated, and definitely intimidating. Exactly. This right here is the roadblock. This is where most people just get stuck. Do you need a license, a mountain of cash? Do you need to know some secret handshake? Honestly, the uncertainty alone is enough to make you stop before you even start, and that's the exact problem this book is designed to solve. So let's get right to the heart of it. The book boils everything down to one simple foundational idea. Forget all the complex financial jargon for a second. True, lasting wealth isn't really about having a high-paying job. It's about owning things, assets, that put money into your pocket, whether they're actively working or not. So let's start walking down this path. Turner frames real estate not as some kind of lottery ticket or get-rich-quick scheme, but as a very deliberate step-by-step journey. And it's a journey designed for regular people like you and me to build extraordinary wealth just by thinking about property a little differently. And this is a massive, massive mindset shift. Think about it. Most of us are taught that a house is a place to live, and maybe, just maybe, an investment that'll grow in value over 30 years. But Turner flips that completely. An investment property isn't just a house. It's a small business that you own, and it's designed to do one thing: generate a consistent, reliable income stream for you. Okay, this brings us to the engine of the whole thing. Turner makes this amazing point that rental properties are a totally unique investment because they pay you in 4 different ways, often all at the same time. Let's break them down. First, and you could argue most importantly, is cash flow. This is the good stuff. It's the profit you make each month after the rent comes in and after you've paid the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, and set some money aside for repairs. This is the active income from your asset, and this is the piece that eventually replaces your salary and buys your freedom. Second, you've got appreciation. Now, over the long haul, real estate values tend to go up. You can't really count on this month to month, but it's like this quiet wealth builder just chugging along in the background. That property you buy for, say, $200,000 today, it could easily be worth $400,000 in 15 or 20 years. That is a powerful force for building your net worth. And this next one? This is one of the most amazing parts of investing in real estate. Every single month, your tenant pays their rent, and a chunk of that rent goes directly to paying down your mortgage. They are literally, month by month, buying the asset for you. Your equity goes up without you lifting a finger. It's like a forced savings account paid for by somebody else. It's incredible. And finally, we get to the tax advantages. This is kind of like the investor's secret weapon. The government gives you some pretty incredible tax breaks for owning rental properties. You can deduct expenses, and you can depreciate the value of the property itself, which can shield a lot of your cash flow from taxes. This just lets your wealth grow way, way faster. Okay, so we know how real estate makes you money, but how do you actually do it successfully without losing your shirt? Well, it all comes down to one simple, non-negotiable golden rule. This might be the single most important quote in the entire book. What it means is you don't just buy a property and cross your fingers, hoping it goes up in value. That's not investing. That's speculating. A real investor creates their profit from day one by buying that property at the right price and on the right terms. So how do you buy right? Simple. You run the numbers. Turner gives you a whole toolkit of simple but really powerful formulas. You project your cash flow to make sure it'll actually make money. You calculate the cap rate to measure your return. You can even use quick little rules of thumb like the 1% rule to quickly see if a deal is even worth looking at. Using data like this takes the emotion out of it and slashes your risk. Now, as you grow, you just can't be the person doing everything. The book makes it super clear that if you want to scale your portfolio, you have to shift your mindset. You have to go from being a solo handyman landlord to being the CEO of your own real estate business. You know, success in this business is absolutely a team sport. A great agent finds you the deals. A creative lender helps you finance them. A reliable contractor fixes things when they break. And a solid property manager, they handle the day-to-day headaches so you don't have to. When you leverage the expertise of other people, you can accomplish so much more than you ever could on your own. And let's be super clear about this. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Your first property might only cash flow a few $100s a month.
And that might not sound life-changing. But what about 5 properties? Now maybe you're bringing in 1,000 or more. 10 properties, and you're at several thousand. It's that steady, consistent acquisition of assets over time that builds true, unshakable wealth. So this is all great information, but what's the point if we don't do anything with it, right? How do we take these ideas off the page and actually apply them in our own lives and maybe even teach them to the next generation? Here are 3 simple things you can do today. First, just start practicing. Go online, look at properties for sale, and run the numbers. You don't have to buy anything, just build that analysis muscle. Second, make cash flow your #1 priority. Don't gamble on appreciation. Buy for cash flow. And third, you don't need to start with a 50-unit apartment building. Start with a single, simple rental and build from there. Consistency is so much more important than intensity. Maybe the most powerful lesson in this whole book is how it reframes the advice we can give to our kids. Most of us were taught the script on the left. Go to school, get a good job, earn a salary. That's the employee mindset. But this book gives us a whole new script to teach, the investor mindset. The lesson isn't just get a good job. It's get a good job and use the money from that job to buy assets that work for you. That one little shift can fundamentally change their entire future with money. And that's really the ultimate takeaway from this book. The goal isn't to work until you're 65 and just hope you have enough saved. The goal is to build a portfolio of assets that generates income on its own, giving you the freedom to choose how you spend your time long after you've stopped working for a paycheck. So really, the final question isn't if you should invest, but what asset are you going to acquire first?